Hey everybody, it is a beautiful autumn day here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Sweatshirt weather, it's lovely. It's been getting really breezy, so you'll probably hear wind noise. Apologize for that. There are also a couple of squirrels having a battle royale, sometimes on my roof. So you may hear them barking, which if you've never heard a squirrel bark, it's adorable because they think they're bad and they're wee. Yeah, so today I'm trying two different noodles, both vegan. One is vegan and gluten free, made out of rice. It's rice noodles, and the other is, I think it may have the dreaded gluten in it, but it is vegan. The first one we're going to try is this is from Lotus Foods. Rice is life. This is their tom yum rice ramen noodle soup. They apparently like stupid puns, so it's tom yum soup. So it says, "Ready or not, here we yum." And now with more yum, so apparently it had less yum. You hear that? Squirrel. So yeah, ready or not, here we yum. There you go, adorable. This doesn't smell bad. It has a nice smell to it. The spicing, that's the thing with vegan food. I don't understand why the spicing on a lot of these that I've tried has been really bad, because spices, theoretically, you should be able to use as many of them as you want. The spicing should be a key component. The baseline thing of the carbohydrates and protein that make a meal, the spicing should be vegan. I don't know why a lot of these are often very bland and just not flavorful. I would think that the flavor would be something you'd really want to bump up on vegan food, but who knows? Yeah, so here's my main problem right away. There are my noodles. That is my noodle puck. This has been sitting at least 2 minutes out of a supposed 3-minute cooking time, reconstituting time, and they are still literally glued together. They're starting to break apart now as I work them with the chopsticks, but this is a gluey mass. I know there's no gluten in here theoretically because gluten is a wheat protein, but they already seem gluey and pasty, which is one of my main complaints with any kind of vegan noodle. Is they're not fried usually, and they are starchy and kind of gross. So, but I'm still going to try these. I'm breaking them up so they're a little more noodle-like. They're short noodles, so you can't really get a good slurp on. The broth smells good. It smells somewhat like a good tom yum soup. So let's give these a shot, and I will try the noodles first because, again, that's usually the weak point of these. Itadakimasu. Now, these are glue. These are strands of glue, polymerized rice glue. There's nothing interesting, enjoyable, appealing about this. That is disgusting. I can't imagine somebody trying these and going, "Yep, that's it. That is the flavor profile that I want." They're hard. They're like eating spaghetti, like angel hair spaghetti that you just soaked in water until it's a little loose, and then you covered in white glue and put it in some soup. That is literally the texture and flavor profiles that I'm getting out of these. I don't even want to try those again, honestly. Okay, and the soup is not awful. There is a little, it's a little flat. You could definitely use MSG and salt. There is a little bit of heat, which is nice. The broth is fine. And actually, of all the vegan noodles that I have tried, this one from Lotus Foods, this broth is, I could eat this. It's like I said, it's flat and kind of watery, but not off-putting. The noodles are horrendous, though. These have to be some of the worst noodles I have ever tried. And I'm not. This is not hyperbole. These are just not good. They've had a little more time to rehydrate, so I'll give them one more shot. Yeah. They're hard in the center. They're pasty. They're flavorless. There is nothing good about that. There is nothing good about that noodle. The soup is fine. And again, I applaud them for at least making a broth that is drinkable. If this were just a cup of that broth, fine. I would eat this. I would eat this a lot. Those noodles, though, they're insulting. Okay, yeah. Can't recommend these. The broth is great. So, Lotus Foods, again, all the big executives watch my channel along with the other 40 people who watch my videos. Change your noodles. Find some noodles that work. Even dehydrated like vegetable matter, would be better in this than those noodles. It's just, they're garbage. The broth is fine. So I'm going to try the next one now. Okay, next up we have Dr. McDougall's Vegan Hot and Sour Noodle Soup. Dr. McDougall's Right Foods, made with organic ramen, great new recipe, doodly boo, boodly boo. Apparently Dr. McDougall's new book, The Starch Solution, is available on Amazon.com. I didn't realize there was a problem. He has the starch solution. Do you have the starch problem? I'm going to let those go for a little more. Those last noodles were, like I said, very disappointing, the noodles themselves, because there are good rice noodles. I've had them on this channel. Rice noodles are not difficult to make. They're not, a lot of times they're not fried because they don't have to be. They're kind of like made fun noodles that you just soak them in hot water and they come back to life, and they're chewy and they're good. So they had to choose those noodles, and it just floors me that people at companies large enough. I got these at Whole Foods. I don't ever shop at Whole Foods because the prices are ridiculous. But I had to go back to take a pair of shoes that I ordered from Amazon back. They sent me the wrong shoes, so they're a place that you can return Amazon packages. And I'm like, well, I'm here. I'll, spend $10 and see what I can get as far as instant noodles. So almost all their instant noodles are vegan. No problem with that. Again, I have no problem with vegans or vegan food. I think it's the way of the future in a lot of ways. But I want to try these things because if there is something that I enjoy, I want to know about it. That's all it is. It's exploration. But it's also very disappointing when I see these noodles that are heavily, produced. Somebody had to have a factory that makes these things and have a printer that prints the labels and a place that makes the cups and all this, and they're that bad. They're that awful. So it's still amazing to me that they can be that bad and still get released into the public. So here we go with Dr. McDougall's Vegan Hot and Sour Noodle Soup. Hopefully Dr. McDougall will make up for his other vegan noodle producers. The noodles, at least, these are wheat noodles, so they're not rice noodles. But again, these are completely stuck together. I can feel already that they're not springy or cooked anyway. And again, this may be, both of these have boiling water directions, so they're saying you can make them with boiling water and to let them sit for 3 minutes, exactly how I'm doing. Maybe they're expecting more people are going to use the microwave, and the microwave may cook the noodles more. But again, if you can't do better than microwaving a cup of noodles, if you can't boil water, then why are you even, eating noodles? I don't know. So these are, look at this. I really can't even get a pull of noodles because they're all bonded together, like they're afraid to go off into the world on their own. I almost had one, and then the others pulled them back. So Yeah. There's my pull of noodles. Soup doesn't smell bad. It smells more like the cardboard of the container than it does the soup, but that seems to be an issue. So give these a shot. Itadakimasu. They're so hard I can't slip them. They don't flex. Not as bad as the last ones, the Lotus foods. Still awful. Still not really good. I don't know. I can see someone who has just determined they're going to eat vegan food without, liking anything, making themselves get used to this. But the noodles they're not appealing in any way, shape, or form. Again, I've said before, there was a reason why Momofuku Ando fried the noodles. You have to do that to make them puff up so that they rehydrate, so that they're delicious when you eat them. Maybe that's something that we can do with lasers now, and I'm not joking. If you think about it, all frying is superheating something past boiling or past what air can do. So maybe we take noodles and shoot them with lasers, and that makes a non-fried noodle that has the same traits as a fried noodle. This crap ain't it. Again, the soup is fine. Sweet, sour. It is close to a decent hot and sour soup. Not as bland as the last one, but could still do with salt, MSG, and maybe some shoyu, some soy sauce. The broth is okay. Both of the broths on these are acceptable. I'll at least give them that much. The noodles, though, ruin it, because you don't. If all you wanted was broth, you could just eat broth, drink broth. You want the noodles. You want this whole little meal, this whole snack. These are losing the whole idea of an instant cup noodle. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm open-minded about the concepts. No problem. You want to eat gluten-free, you need to eat gluten-free because of your diet or your health or whatever, fine. But this is not doing it. Comparing these to the last ones, these noodles are slightly better, which is like, not even a compliment. They're still awful. But again, there are good rice noodles. The fact that these aren't fried, it's a waste. It's a waste of resources. Because if you're going to make something, my brother and I got into a debate years ago, because he was like, what we need to do is make electric vehicles that are like trucks and SUVs, things that people already desire. We need to make those electric vehicles. That way you get people into electric vehicles without, this huge change in their life. And I was like, Americans drive too big a vehicle. In general, we waste a lot of space when we're driving. We have these SUVs that one person drives all day, all this stuff. We need smaller vehicles, and we need electric vehicles. And I've come around to his way of thinking a little more, because number one, I want a Ford Lightning, so, I don't want to be a hypocrite. But also, I think that if you want to get people into a mode of thinking, the more subtle the curve that you can get them into, the better success you're going to have. And so if you're telling people, hey, you need to be vegan because cruelty or resources or the environment or any of these multiple reasons why it's good not to raise animals and slaughter them, and then you give them this kind of food and you go, here, this is what the future is, this is what we're offering you. And so, me personally, I am a very open-minded person about this, and I still kind of want to spit this stuff out. So, let this be my challenge to every vegan noodle maker who is watching this video, because again, they all do, I know it. If Nishin tells me anything, They tell me that everybody else is watching these noodle videos. Make a better product. You'll get more people on board, because I think a lot of people, you know, there is the rare person who actually wants something to die. Those people are, you know, they have their own issues, and I don't even really have a problem with carnivorous people. I have a problem with, you know, we are overdoing it. We treat animals like garbage. We treat them horribly. We can do better. We're not. And the only other alternative is vegetarianism, which theoretically just means, you know, you're ovo-lacto, you eat eggs and milk, or you're vegan. And honestly, vegan food so far has never appealed to me, because I find that people are willing to stomach a lot of garbage in the name of their cause, of their beliefs, and I don't see the point, especially when I can make vegan cup noodles that have no animal products in them whatsoever and taste better than this. These are just bad noodles. Dr. McDougall's starch solution or not. I'll quit ragging on these guys. Last weekend was awesome. We go to a lot of horror movie festivals at the Skyline Drive-In in Shelbyville, and they have one that's called the Drive-In Massacre. They have a 1950s fake trailer contest that they have every year, and I entered it on the urging of Cinda, and got into it and made my movie, and actually won first place, and I'm still kind of overwhelmed by it, because I wasn't expecting really to win at all, and to get first and to see the response that people had, and to still people, you know, tell me how great they thought it was and everything. It's been huge. It's been a really great, you know, boost. Still need a job, so that's, you know, once I get a job, that'll be even better. But I'll post in the description, I'll post a link to the video if you haven't seen it. I assume that anybody who's watching my noodle videos is also one of my Facebook friends and is, you know, seeing all the goofy crap that I do. But if not, you know, check that out too. That's on my other channel. But yeah, autumn, it's coming in really beautifully this year. It's been cool, but not overly cold. It hasn't been overly rainy at all, which again is problematic, because I think we're kind of in a drought now. But in general, I'm just trying to stay very positive, because I feel very negative. There are a lot of things that feel like, you know, the vice is closing in, and I can't do that. I can't let myself do that. So I'm trying to stay positive, keep doing these. They're fun. I hope you guys enjoy them. And otherwise, you know, if any of you have any suggestions, I know a few of my friends are vegan. If you have any suggestions for, you know, vegan noodles to try, give me you know, put them in the comments. Let me know. Otherwise, I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you later. Bye.